I think everyone's been, really pumped to finally, especially get to play a GNAC team. This is something we've really set goals for and been looking forward to. So I know, finally getting into like a couple matches under our belt has everyone really excited to kind of, get into a rhythm and have a better team chemistry. So I think everyone's looking forward to getting to play.
Yeah, talk about that a little more, the fact that you get to play a conference opponent. This is such a weird spring where you're playing all kinds of different opponents, but you get to play Northwest Nazarene in one of your games this week. How do you think that's going to help the team kind of get ready for what you'll see in the fall?
I think it's really important because we have so many new players, me included, a lot of people who haven't seen GNAC teams yet. So getting to preview this finally, see what the GNAC level is like in the spring is going to help us transition into the fall more, just because we have a better idea of what the competition looks like, level of play, and especially like fine-tuning how we play against GNAC level teams will be huge for the team coming into the fall.
Talk about what it's been like coming into this program. You got here in the fall, first season with the Yellowjackets, so you've had some time to adapt and get used to things now that you're on the pitch. What has it been like coming into the program?
Honestly, it's been a really fantastic experience. I was kind of nervous coming into it, transferring, but the program has been so inviting, and like the level of play has been so fantastic, especially with all the new players. So it's really exciting to finally actually be playing games and get to look forward to conference in the fall.
So you're a goalkeeper on the team. Talk about what it's been like gelling with this new defense. Obviously, the role that you have, you rely so much on that back line, and a lot of new faces on that back line, young players and old players. Haley Gertz, a freshman, Vendela Anderson, a freshman, and then Ashley Tiffin, a junior transfer just like you. What has that dynamic been like with the back line?
I think it's been kind of special just because you don't get the chance to kind of like almost fresh slate a back line. And I feel like we've really had the opportunity to do that, especially with two new center backs, or actually all of our center backs are new, everyone that's rotating through. So it's been really cool because it wasn't like we had to come in and adapt. Everyone kind of got to see how we worked with each other, and I feel like really just kind of create something different and something that works really well for the team right now.
The last match you guys got to play was against the University of Montana, a huge challenge, but why do you think that was good? I mean, you had 5 saves in the match. As a goalkeeper, is a very busy game for you. Why do you think it was good for the team to play a really tough opponent?
I think it was good mainly on a level of confidence. We've played teams that are great so far, but playing something like that big D1, you've got the nerves coming into it, but I think for us to see that we really could play against them was really important, especially for new players, to kind of get a level of confidence with everyone and within the team, and just to really have that under our belt, I think kind of makes moving forward a lot easier. It's kind of like the pinnacle of where you can go.
We'll talk about maybe some goals that you have for this spring, and specifically like focusing on the fall. Obviously, you'll have your conference schedule coming up in the fall months. How do you want to use this spring to achieve a couple goals and be ready for the fall season?
I think personally, kind of building chemistry is really the biggest goal. Again, a lot of new players. I'm new myself, so as a goalkeeper, that's really important to have a feel of who you've got in front of you, how people respond to different communication styles. So getting a feel of like players as individuals as well as an overall team is really the most important thing for me.
Yeah, we're definitely excited to get back on into some games. We're disappointed to see our last couple of home matches canceled, but the game against NNU is awesome. Just finally get to play a GNAC opponent. We weren't expecting to be able to do that this spring with everything, but it just gives us a great chance to show our new players like this is what a GNAC game is like. NNU is a strong GNAC opponent. We always kind of go head to head with them, so it'll be a good test to play them. Great to just get on the road and also see what this travel is like. A little bit more of an extended trip compared to our last couple of road matches, but we know that NNU will be awesome, an awesome test. College of Idaho is a very strong NAIA team as well, and so we're in for 2 tough but big games this week.
Yeah, elaborate on that a little bit in the spring season where you're getting to play some really good opponents. It's not just scrimmages here and there. I mean, you play University of Montana. Before that game, you talked about how that would pose a challenge similar to GNAC competition. Now you get a conference opponent. You mentioned how that'll help the new players. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we always talk about training like we're preparing for the GNAC. This is what the GNAC is going to be like. This is what we can do in the GNAC. This is what we can't get away with in the GNAC, and to finally actually be able to like play a GNAC game against a strong opponent that we know that we're going to be battling with in the fall for a playoff spot. And so, yeah, just getting a chance to go out and really use this first game as a learning opportunity. They're going to return the trip to Billings at the end of our spring semester in a few weeks, and so it'll be 2 good games against them, and hopefully see a lot of growth from that.
Your last match on the field was that game against the Grizz. Clare Keenan played goal for you, had 5 big saves. Talk about her slotting into the goalkeeper role, how she's done so far, and what you've seen out of her.
Yeah, Claire is a very, very strong goalkeeper. Very athletic, good shot stopping, good control of the back line, possessing out of the back. We really feel like we have a very strong goalkeeper in Claire. She makes spectacular saves and keeps us in games. The goals that she's conceded in the matches really have been like team breakdowns. But I know that Claire is very hungry to be successful here. Has had an interesting career, with transferring up until like, finding her way in our program, and we really, like her skill, but also just what she brings to the team, the leadership. She's constantly there helping her teammates, the freshmen. She's been a great asset to us.
Give you a chance to give some credit to your players. 10 academic all-conference selections that came out earlier this week, and you mentioned in your quote for the story there just how tough it is with everything going on to stay focused on school. Talk about your players' achievement there.
Yeah, I always have to remind myself again that it's not a guarantee that we're just going to be like so strong academically and remember all the hours that they put in. But we've recruited players that see the big picture, want to graduate, want to be a part of the campus community here at MSUB. They see it more than just coming here to play soccer. They know that the more they invest in the classroom, the better it will help them just have a better experience here, as well as life after soccer, life after MSUB. So I'm really proud of them. It's been a crazy time with coronavirus. Some classes in person, some online. To be flexible, adjust to what the professor needs, and it's great to see our players constantly be able to do that year after year.
The matches will be tough this week on the road. What do you hope to see? It's been a little bit since the team has played, so you've had some time to practice, obviously, look at your last few games. What are you hoping to see on Thursday and Friday?
I'm hoping that we'll just be a little bit better in those, I would say, game-winning moments, whether that's being better in possession in the final third, stepping harder to shots, or potential threats in the defensive third. I think, again, just fine-tuning. We've seen a lot of good through all of our games, but fine-tuning those, trying to make the good more consistent, and be able to play like 2 physical, hard games of soccer and score some goals, and hopefully get a couple shutouts to come back home.